Good.
There's a little Explorer mug out there in the open.
Yes.
What you guys think about that?
Think happy thoughts.
No, guys, think very negatively. It's the trend of 2020. Think negative thoughts. I don't do that. What's going on over here? I mean, it's going right now.
All right, cool. Hey.
I'm just trying to pull it up so
Yeah, no, it's good.
you can actually just watch it and make sure it's good. Got ads on the live stream.
No way. That's crazy. I'm live on my Instagram now too, just letting you know.
Cool.
We're telling your followers that you're starting a live video. Cool, first time. Oh yeah!
Oh, it's not perfect, but
It looks good, man. It looks good. Heck yeah. What's up, Braxton? So we're just gonna sit here for an hour and not say anything?
Art of Lobster. This freezing rain. It ain't raining here. Carissa, what's up? Thank you for coming back. What's up? I look like a homeless person with my glasses. Alright guys, what's up? So you guys know me. If you don't, my name's Gary. We're sitting down with my buddy Josh right now. His name's Josh Horner. He's actually awesome. One of the few people that I've met and I genuinely feel like is an awesome person. Actually has a lot to offer. And he was kind enough to be the first guest to this podcast. It's not quite a podcast because you can tell these aren't really working. But, it's trial and error. We're getting everything, working out over time. So come back next time and it'll be even better.
Oh, yeah.
But
we've been here for how long? When did I get here?
oh, dude.
What time is
I
it?
can't pull it up on my phone. But
About an hour and a half.
at least,
Yeah, just feeling the place, feeling the energy in here. It's beautiful. It flows very nicely, and magic is gonna happen here.
Well, I still never let any of them see the rest of the room. I'm trying to keep it.
Okay.
Like, this is all that I can see right now.
Okay, so it's a secret.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. That's good.
In my part of Johnstown, it is. It's not over here. I don't know how it changes like that, but okay. So, see, this is like when you go live, it's kind of hard.
Oh yeah. This is the first time I ever went live. So thank you for those of you who've joined.
Yeah, in their comments, I'm like, you guys are distracting me because like I want to read the comments, but at the same time, I want to just have this conversation. So I think we gotta.
We'll pretend we're not live.
Ignore that. I'm gonna block you guys' comments out. Hey, this notification worked. Cool, dude. 2 guns. This dude, 2 guns. I never like met him in person before, and then one day I was out at Applebee's, like sweeping the stupid parking lot, and he comes pulling up in his truck, and he's like, "Hey, dude." I was like, I don't know who you are. And he's like, I'm 2 guns on YouTube. And I was like, dude, no way. I thought I was able to like put a face to like just a
That's awesome.
little thing. But okay, for everyone just tuning in now, this is distracting. I'm gonna hide it. I'm hiding your comments, but comment anyways because I'm gonna open it every once in a while, and then we'll go from there. But
and anyone on my Instagram, same thing. This is the first time live, yes. So this is, and we are just kind of hanging out. Yes, this is Gary, and
I got rubber bands on my glasses.
Exactly.
Okay. They already know me, so this is Josh Horner. I already said that. You can tell we're new to this. But how would you want to introduce yourself? Like, I don't know. He does so much stuff. Fitness. He's into motivational speaking. I actually went and helped him film one, which I never even gave you the footage yet.
Oh, yeah.
I will give you the footage.
That's cool. Yeah.
But he has a crazy story, and I just kind of wanted to have him on here because I want him to be able to share it with all you guys. Because everyone on here, they're like awesome people. Like
cool.
They are. They're real cool. They're opening up. They're spiritual. They're into talks like that. So. And
that's what I'm about too. First off, I want to share how I met Gary, or how I heard about Gary. So, a little bit about myself. A couple years ago, I was featured on the news here in Johnstown about someone who has been through a lot of trauma, but has wanting to change his life and is doing some motivational speaking.
So you're on the news.
Yeah,
We both were on the news.
We were both on the news. Yeah, and in our town, our town's a little sad and stuff, but there's a lot of good here.
Yeah.
And pushing that and believing in that, I think, is the best way to instill change in a place that a lot of people don't believe that there can be change. So you take up that cross and you kind of push forward. But anyway, I work at Applebee's and I work with. It seems like all of your family works at Applebee's.
You pretty much do now.
Yeah.
Besides one brother.
Yeah. So I was talking with his older brother Ron. He was telling me about him and about you and what you're into, and I started looking at your posts and found out that you were on the news too, and we had planned to do like something like this in your van.
Yeah.
Right?
Van talk.
The van talk.
They know about it.
Okay, all right. And I thought that was really cool because, one, I love vans. my family had vans growing up. We had Astra vans, and I hope to get one. Actually, there's one down there. It's blue Volkswagen van that I see all the time.
Oh, that's parked behind that fence?
Yes.
Dude,
I want that so bad. Yeah, I
years.
know. I see it all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. But
I'm going to get it first.
all right, let's go.
Dude,
let's go.
What if that was like a challenge? It's like, who's going to get that
I'm
van?
writing it down. Blue van.
But for real, I'm always past that.
I'm for real too. But so when did you start working there? It was your first day, right? That I saw you.
One of the first days.
Yeah.
I do it, man.
So just life is crazy. You try to do projects and structure things, and I'm the type of guy who kind of just flows and lets things present itself to me. So we had talked, but then it kind of like faded away, and like just how life goes. And I come into work, and I see this dude, like just see him, and he's in an Applebee's, he was working there. I'm like, no way. And we had like shift meeting, and I remember I walked outside and I was like, I've been looking for you. Like that was the first thing I said to you. And I was like, I've been looking for you. And you're like, what? And you're like, I love your energy. I'm like, dude, we got to connect. We got to do some things. And
we got to put it into perspective. Some big dude comes walking around the corner.
Exactly. And see, in my mind, I'm always like, oh yeah, I guess that's how it looks. But I'm just like so excited and wanna connect and do good things, and it's just like, whoa. So we have been cultivating this for some time, and we finally have gathered here on this day, Monday, December 16th, which is pretty cool. But I guess I should introduce myself and what I do. I guess. Where do I even start, man? Like it's crazy. Like,
well, ultimately, I would love to because you're where you're at right now. You're still in the journey. Years down the road, you're going to be even further into this stuff.
Yes.
But there is what inspired you to want, because to spoil it, he does, like, I think I already did, but like you do public speaking, you do fitness, you do all this stuff that you're trying to empower yourself, help empower other people along the way.
Yes.
And you just kind of want to see, like, I'm hungry for growth and progress. Anyone that like has me on YouTube, they know that I love just progress. I love growth. I love just to become better. You know what I mean? Or whatever that is. And that's what I see in you. And I think that's the reason that we like relate like that. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into like your story of, you know, like the troubling things that you went through, the things that led you into being in an area. Because I don't even know your full story. Like, was there something that happened? Like, I know some of the stuff you've been through, but like, was there something that kind of broke you down so far that you were almost like, I need to, like, it's either downhill spiral the rest of the way, or I need to like make a change and go different.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, in my life, I have faced a lot of loss, and the loss of good people that have been very close to me. My father, my mother, my best friends, aunts, uncles, and a lot of those deaths were through suicide. And suicide is something that leaves you with a lot of questions, and it's very, very painful. And how you navigate your life how I navigated my life afterwards was I went down a lot of the wrong paths. I tried to cope with the pain that was inside through alcohol, parties, being reckless, kind of going off the path of God too. I was raised in a very Christian family. My family was very ingrained in the church, and we were always helping, and just those core values. I kind of lost that with the loss of my parents and my friends. I was mad at God for a long time. I was like, how could you take these people from me? And it put a cloud over my life a little bit, and for some
Can I
time,
cut you out real quick?
please do.
Like, cause that's cool though, because that's one of the most like, if you talk to a lot of people that are like angry at God or like because there's people that don't believe in God, they say, but like as soon as you bring up God, they're so quick to like argue against it.
Yeah.
It's because deep down they've been hurt by God. They know they believe in God. They just don't. They have the same thing. Like if God's a good God, why would He allow this stuff to happen?
Exactly.
Why did that person have to get sick? Why did that person have to feel like this? Why did I have to do this? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's kind of cool.
Exactly, man.
That's God.
Yes, and that's the thing. I lived in that for some time. I fostered this. I don't want to say I hated God, but I was mad. I was mad at Him, and I was mad at myself too, because there was some things that when you go through the losses of people, especially through suicide, I had harbored some guilt through that, and I didn't treat myself or handle life in a way that is loving towards myself. I put myself in situations that were unsafe. I was frivolous with money, with my careers, my goals, like, and it got to the point, and these are where like the turning points are, is when you. Sometimes I lived in this for a couple years. Yeah. 6 years. I was spending all my money on drugs and partying and drinking and traveling the world, hanging out with the wrong friends with the wrong intentions, and it got to the point where I was living out of my car. I'd lost my house, like the place I was living. I had failed out of college. I was stealing food from the college that I was still going to in this red bag that I have at my house. Like, I'll never get rid of that bag, because I had Tupperware, and I would go to the cafeteria and I would literally, I don't want to say it was like stealing food because I was still in the school, but I was putting extra food in it. And that's how I lived for so long. And I was so sad. I was living a life that was so sad, putting on that mask of being happy and the party dude and everything, but I was empty inside. I had fallen away from my church. I had fallen away from the people that truly cared and loved for me. And I was at the point of taking my own life because I thought that was the only way that I could get out. Now, I had thought about suicide many times, like how I was going to do it. So this is a great story. I had joined the rugby team at UPJ. Shout out to the Farm Apes. I love you, Stallions forever. But when I started on this team, I had lost a lot. I was down. I needed some purpose, and I love dogs.
I don't love them when they bark when I'm doing so.
But in this team, we started out with like 9 people. We couldn't even field a whole team. You have 15 on a rugby squad. Me, my buddy Joe, and Giovanni, we all kind of took it upon ourselves to raise this team, start holding practices, start advocating for the team, start bringing people in. And once you attach some emotion to something where you are involved and you're kind of a leader, that keeps you. And it kept me. But it was at the point where I was like, well, I'm going to take my life when we lose. Okay?
I remember him telling me the story.
Dude,
actually. Yes.
We didn't lose. Like, we were undefeated for 3 years. Well, actually 4 years, because I ended up coaching the 4th year. But we were undefeated. We were 7th in the nation. The last year I played, and it was like, whoa, okay, so we didn't lose. And looking back, I see how God has worked in my life that way.
Not to cut you off again.
Please cut me off, man.
But
it's all good.
Can you just say that
Woo,
one
did
more
you
time?
just see that? I got it first time.
Did you guys see that?
That's what's up. I hope it's it's behind that. Well, I'll do it again.
Lee, thank you for the 2 pounds. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
I'm going to shout everyone out real quick. Carrie, what's up? Plans, Passion, what's up? Arts of Loster. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Honestly, I'm an atheist, but I wish I could believe. I see people change because they find religion, or religion finds them.
Who?
I wish
who
I
is
felt that comfort that there was a loving God.
What's the name?
It doesn't have his real name on there, but it's Art of Loster.
Art of Loster.
And he's from Johnstown.
Stay with this episode because
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that even more. There's something that I really want to. There's some stories I want to share that show the power and the grace of God, a loving God, especially when you are at the darkest and deepest moments where you think that it's not real and that He's not having your back, and it's worked too much in my life that I can't not share it.
Yeah.
Like I can't not
Same.
share it. Like it's incredible.
Art of Loster. Yeah, I guess I'm saying it right. I don't know if you have Instagram. If you have Instagram, message me after this, and then
Message me too.
yeah.
Yeah, message me too.
Well, what is your Instagram?
Fire Heart JMH.
All one word.
All one word.
Letters JMH.
JMH Joshua Mark Horner.
There you go.
Fire Heart.
Reach out to us, dude. I would love to talk to you. And
I
you're
would
from
love to talk to you,
Johnstown.
too.
I would love right here. You just
Yeah.
made 2 new friends.
From Johnstown.
For real.
Repping Johnstown, bringing this city up, bringing it up, leveling it up. So
This is a podcast. Yeah.
it's the first kind of, but so Forrest, good to see you.
Roy,
good to
what's
see
up?
you.
All right, that was shout out time. Now let's get back to
yeah.
you said that
Being a part of team.
you were because you were ready to kill yourself.
I was ready to end it.
And you said I'm just gonna wait until we lose,
Yeah. So it got to the point though,
but you didn't.
but we never lost. So I was like still there. But I also had put myself in a position where I was now a captain of the team. And when you have people looking up to you, it puts a responsibility on yourself like, hey, I have to level up myself because people are watching me. People are watching what I do. I'm here to lead this team. I'm here to lead by example. And that puts good pressure on you. And it kept me alive. I also, the one time where, this is prior to the team, where I was like, when my debit card declines, I'll kill myself. So at this point, I really wasn't that good with my money because, I'm sure some of you out there can relate to this. Is like you don't necessarily want to die, but you don't necessarily want to live either. If you walked down in the street and got hit by a car, you wouldn't necessarily be mad about it sometimes. And that's kind of how I was rolling with my life for a while. And it actually had happened. I was on a football trip in Ocean City, Maryland, swiped the card, declined, super embarrassed in front of my team. And my buddies covered me, but I was like, oh, when I get home from this trip, it's over. We ended up winning the championship that weekend, and I was just like, maybe life isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But there was a point when I wanted to end it, and I drove. I was living in my car, my Jeep at the time, the Jeep Cherokee. I loved that thing. It blew up on me. But I drove to my parents' graves. We own a cemetery in Ogletown. That's where they're buried. And I sat there with some beer, and I just cried. Like,
This was after all this.
this was before the rugby. But this is like at the beginning of the darkness before I found the attachments and the good things that I held on to. So I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to my mom and my dad, and I'm just trying to find a way. And I sent out some text messages, and my sisters responded to me. Katie and Abby responded in a way that it pulled me back, and it gave me new hope, because at this point I had gotten a DUI. I had wrecked my brand new car. My life was just, I was going off the rails, and my sisters were still, hey, we love you. We see you for who you are. Like what they wrote back was like, you inspire us to keep going. And I was like, well, if I inspire you, I guess I have to stay. And as joking as it is, it really pulled me back. So, and then, I got into rugby, and started making some friends and people who cared. And I thought to myself, okay, well, if people look up to you in a sense that you're putting yourself in positions where, you're being a leader, just do that in your life. And so I started to really take care of myself. I started to invest in my physical body and also my mental. I started to read a lot and started that journey.
Go back one more time.
Go back.
What do you feel like there was one particular moment above all the rest that made you put you in a place where you felt like I don't want to be here anymore? Or do you think it was just a combination of just everything? Because I want to touch on that because that's a big thing in society right now. People with depression, suicide thoughts, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I just feel
To
like
be
that's
honest,
something.
to be honest, man, it's hard to pinpoint it because at 18, the second semester, that's when my dad committed suicide, and it threw my world. I was a scholarship athlete. I was riding high. I was playing football at Shippensburg, and
That was how
like
many years before, like the rugby?
that was 2007, and I went to UPJ in 2011. That's when
Okay.
I joined the team. So it was like 4 or 5 years in there.
But what's even okay? Even hearing that, this all happened in such a
Oh, that's the point of that. So I lost my dad when I was 18, and a year and a half later, my mom died on my first date with this girl. My first date, I go to Pittsburgh, and she passed away while I was in Pittsburgh, and I traveled home. The first date, I remember looking at her and going, "My mom just died." It was crazy, and at 21, I'd lost both my parents,
yeah.
and my parents were great people. They were great people, and it's incredible. I've learned so much from my parents more in the times that they're gone than I did when I was a kid growing up, because it's like now, you look at things for I look at things a little bit more, it's like deeper and more appreciative. And so then my mother passed away, my grandmother passed away 6 months after that, my grandfather committed suicide a month after her, my aunt died from cancer a month after that, and then I joined UPJ. I had befriended.
Can I ask you a deeper question?
Please ask all the deepest
What
questions.
made you feel like suicide was the option? Like out of all the things that were happening, like you have friends, I'm assuming, like good friends.
Yes,
Like out of all this, and like you had your sisters at this point, or was this after?
it was me and my sisters. We went separate paths because
Okay.
everyone was affected very hard. There was a lot of blame. My family in these trials kind of, instead of when some okay, so when something, it's like fight or flight. When something happens to you, you can either get in or you can run.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, my family ran, but ran and like blamed from afar, and there was a lot of inner fighting, and it just muddied the waters. So it was very hard to have like that core come together thing. So honestly, man, suicide, guilt. I had a lot of guilt. I wish I could have been a better son to my father. I wish he called us the night before he left, and he asked to talk to all of us, and I refused to talk to him. And it's something that I've carried for some time, because I was mad at him because he had left and went off to pray in the woods, and he didn't tell my mom, and there's no doubt about it. I was mama's boy. She was the light of my life, and I was mad because he made her cry, and he came back asking to talk, and I refused, and I would be lying if there was a part of me that doesn't go back to that day and wish I would have talked to him, and maybe have let my anger subside and talked to him as a son that loves his dad.
But what in his life put him in a position to have those thoughts to begin with?
To be honest, dude, I've been searching that
Because as a
question.
kid, that's not your fault.
I
As
know,
much as you
I know,
say that
I
you
know.
wish you would have called,
I know. His life.
his job was to father you.
Exactly.
Your job wasn't to be a better son. I mean, of course, that's a thing that you
It
want
is
to
a
be.
thing,
You want
yeah.
to honor your parents. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But at the same time, you can never put that on yourself.
I know, and that's something in the growth process of this whole thing. It's like I've realized that my father had his life, as I looked at it afterwards, because once this happened, everyone wanted to, you know, critique it and analyze him, and why did he do this? Why? What could I have done? All this stuff, and you start to look at his life. there was a lot of hardships there. There was a lot of things that I didn't know from his parents. He had to grow up at a very early age. He had there's some abuse there from an uncle when he was really young. That all of these things that my father had carried, but he never talked about. And he always tried to be the man who gave and gave and gave. This guy, looking at him, I have the utmost respect for my father. Like, I do not ever will condone suicide by any means, and I'm still angry at him for that. But a healthy angry, where I talk to him consistently, and we have worked a lot of our issues out. But this man's life, he was always sacrificing himself for us, and it's evident through his journey. And I think it just became a little bit too much for him, to where he wasn't taking care of the thoughts that he needed to, or the demons that he had closed away for some time, and that came up and were too powerful. And so yeah, yeah, it's pretty deep.
What would you say to people that are dealing with suicidal thoughts?
What I would say, the first thing that came to my mind,
First of all, are you free from them?
yeah, yes.
There's nothing in your mind. You don't have these days where it's like, I'd be better if I just was not here.
Well, I mean, I don't want to lie and say no, I'm completely happy and everything. Like, things come into my mind because, like, dude, I'm 31 now, and there's some things that I miss, like this time of year. My mom died November 19th. My dad died February 4th. Christmas, Thanksgiving, my birthday's in February. Like, this time right now is high, intense, and the changing of the seasons is like, there's not sunlight. I love sunlight. I need it. It's difficult because for the past 11, 12 years, where I've really needed a father figure, it's hard navigating your life without parents to guide you. Like, for real. Like, even if they're not the best parents, they have experience, so they can give that to you. I never really flirt with the lines of it'd be better if I wasn't here. It's just more like, man, this is tough some days. Like, some days this is hard. And I wish I could just go back home where my mom's going to cook me beef stroganoff for my birthday, and everything's going to be great. I'm going to wake up, and my dad's going to wake me up early on Saturday when I want to sleep in, but I have to sweep the living room. Like, those are the things that I miss. But now there's too many people watching. There's too many people that need this for me to go down that road into, it'd be better if I wasn't here, because it wouldn't be better if I wasn't here. I don't believe it would be, but it's definitely still a struggle.
Well, it's not. Doesn't even make sense that life would be better without you here.
Yeah. So it's,
unless you're like a axe murderer or something.
yeah.
Just running around.
And I'm not there yet. I mean, I don't say yet, but I mean, I didn't go down that road at all. So, but I mean, anger and violence is something that I've really gone through, and that's been a demon that I've fought with many of sword and shield, and I think I've conquered that in a lot of ways, because I was mad for so long, so long. But yeah, the thing that I do, that my programs and my speeches, and it's called the direction is progression. So the direction.
If you guys have any, I'm sorry I'm not responding directly to your comments because we're in conversation. I don't want to have to keep cutting off. But if you guys have any questions for Josh while we're talking, comment them in the comment section, and I'll ask. Well, we'll stop in a couple minutes, and if he's down to answer some questions, we'll answer your questions. So ask questions.
Yes,
about
please.
Anything like that. Anything we've been talking about, anything about fitness, anything you want to know about him, and we'll get to that.
But to go back to someone who's struggling with suicidal thoughts, the first thing that came to my mind is don't do it. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Is it that simple?
That's what
it is,
but it isn't that simple, because you're in so much. If you're at that place where everything is painful, where even waking up is painful, and you have a lot of self-doubt, and you're anything you try and you touch turns to shit. It's hard. It's hard to just not do it. It's hard to not want to take the pain away. But there are ways to do it. That's the thing. This journey is hard. It's hard taking control of your life. It's hard getting away from the pain and those problems in your head, but you can do it. And there's ways to do it. I truly believe that if you're honest with yourself, if you look at yourself and you say, what do I need to work on, or where do I need help, and be I think it's important to really have open and true friendships, because those people there's people in my life that have saved me many times, where I've come to them and relaying what I'm saying to you right now, and they have pulled me back and given me the support I needed. Sometimes just a smile can even help you on someone's day. Like, it's not as easy as don't do it, but there are steps to take. And I think by working on yourself, improving yourself, as much as it's hard, it gets easier. You gain momentum. You start to learn things. You start to ease your mind. You don't live in this dark cloud as much. There's a beautiful metaphor. So you have this glass, okay? Say it's a glass full of water and it's dirty water, all right? How do you get it to be clean? Do you know?
Good question.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard this before,
Yeah.
but I don't know that.
This is so cool. So imagine this just being dirty, muddy water, okay? This is dirty, muddy water. How do you get it to be clean? And imagine this cup is your mind, full of bad thoughts and hard times. And I am a firm believer in God, 100%. You take God's love and you take God's understanding and you take the path and you pour water into the dirty cup, and you keep pouring it and you keep pouring it and you keep pouring it. And what happens is it becomes clear. And it takes time, though. It takes time. And it's not an overnight thing. But if you can be open and let go and let God, that's a thing. But if it's something that has worked magnificently in my life. I had started the journey of progression, but it really wasn't expedited until I opened my heart and my mind back to God. And that's a whole nother story in itself there.
Yeah. Okay, so with all that, trying to think of how to word it. I want to still hit on more of the dark side of things.
Please.
Because like that is where I don't want to be like, well, that's where most people are at. But that's where like the majority. I mean, you could see the reflection of society.
Yes, you can.
Like people are dealing with like drugs to escape from things. They're just going through a lot of like terrible things. Well, even and they don't feel like they can talk about it.
Exactly. But even look at the media and how sexualized everything is too.
Yeah.
Like everything is sexualized I think in a way that's not necessarily cultivating a good image and a good heart.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I forget.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that to you.
You're good.
But a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things, darkness. You see it in society.
What do you? Oh, I guess was asked the question like, what do you see as the biggest like problem in society? Because I know what it is.
You know what it is?
Yeah, and people can say it's an opinion.
Okay.
But like, I know what it is. I'm just curious to see like what you think.
What I think the biggest problem.
Not even in just America. I'm talking about just the world in general. Why is it so like troubling? Why does it seem like so many things are happening? There's school shootings every other day. There's people just killing each other for no reason. You know what I mean? There's just all this stuff. Drugs and sex are being pushed in kids' movies and stuff nowadays.
Yeah, I know, it is crazy.
See a holiday movie without it being
Frozen, it's in there, man.
Let
it go. Yeah, all right, let it go. Okay. Wow, that's a heavy question. I think people.
It is very, very simple, but it's a heavy question because when you break it down to like what it really is at the roots, it's like.
What is it?
I understand. What do you think it is?
Well, okay, good. I guess I haven't really thought of that question. I would. I want to say, honestly, man, I want to say God. I want to say God because if you and it's funny to talk about these things, as I haven't really been able to talk to someone who kind of understands the ways of thinking in
Yeah,
it too. And
same,
it's thank you for that. I think it's God in the sense of not thinking yourself as God, and not being selfish, not having the purpose, not having the understanding that you are living a life for not only yourself but for God. And if you can follow God's nature and really understand the nature, your world opens up. Like your world opens up exponentially. Like if you do good, it comes back to you 3 times. And I've experienced that in my life full heartedly. That's what I would have to go. Like that's honestly that's how I'd have to go, because my life is significantly changed when I put God into my life.
Everything you just said is 100% true and accurate. There's just one layer under that.
Here.
And it's like, it's what sprouts out to God, to everything else, and to all that. Like, what do you think people are suffering from in the world right now? Because the depression isn't the problem in the world. Drugs isn't the problem. Crime, murder, mass shootings, that's not the problem. That's all like
Side effects.
side effect of it, yeah. So, any other
Let's hear it. Yeah, no, let's hear it, Gary.
It's one word.
Let's
Well,
hear
it's
it.
two if you want to put it like that.
Okay.
It's ready? This is a identity crisis.
Ooh.
People don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't know why they're on the earth.
Yeah.
The biggest question people ask all the time is why we're here, right?
Yes.
But it's even deeper than that, because when you don't really know why you're here, you turn to these dark vices, you turn to these dark things, and you start, even to the smallest, to working a job you don't want to work because you don't know why you're waking up. So you're just doing what you need to do to get by.
Yeah.
You do bad things to gain acceptance from people instead of knowing you've already been accepted by God.
Exactly.
So if you once you know who you are and whose you are, life just starts to open up. Your eyes start to open, your ears start to open to truth, and then nothing is like, there's nothing that has a curtain over it anymore. Like you can see through it. Like your eyes are like a natural X-ray machine. You can see truth and what's not true. You can see lies from that. You know what I mean? You can just see these things.
Invite Gary to our church. I have invited him.
He has.
I have invited him to our. We invited each other to each other's church. But dude, I think you're.
Art of Lost just says lack of love and care.
Love is a big thing. And love for yourself, too. It kind of goes back to the identity crisis. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you love what you don't know? Like
No, you're right. No,
right?
dude, that's it.
Because, like, if I'm, say, and there's a lot of, like, especially in the fitness world.
Can I ask you one question?
Please.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to
I
say.
don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, well, especially in like the fitness world, there's this standard of who you need to be, how you need to act, what you need to be into, things like that. And I think people are trying to fit themselves in that mold.
I was going to say, when's the
It's
last
not-
time you met someone that was genuinely themselves? You were like, that person, like, they know, they just know who they are. And they know why they're alive, why they're awake. Like, how often does that actually happen?
In my recent life, more. And I think that has to do with me knowing who I am now.
Oh, yeah.
Because by me finding out who I am, it goes into the law of attraction too. You attract what you're like. And you're attracting.
I didn't post the videos. If my brother didn't know I posted videos and know to talk to you, I would have never known you.
Exactly.
It's that deep though.
Yes,
it's so small,
yes,
but it's that deep.
Yes, it is. And I find too, like in the last 3 years, because I like to say I've been coming to who I am in the last 3 years. I really started to take control of my life. February 2017 is when I started my fitness journey, and in the fitness journey came the emotional journey, the spiritual journey, the all encompassing wellness. But yeah, prior to that, not many real individuals. I mean, you can get that, but when you're masking a lot with alcohol and partying, you don't necessarily get the realness. It's all surface value.
Yeah.
It's where's the next party? Where's the next girl? What's this? What can we do? Like, there's not that substance. And if you try to bring that to the table, you're looked at as a weirdo. You're looked at as someone who is, But I find that's how it should be. You 100% should search and find out who you are.
Yeah.
And what drives you and what motivates you. Because again, then that's when your life opens up. And then that's when you find happiness. Because you can't live a life that you're not yourself. You're not. How are you going to be happy there? How can you love that?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Well, that's what it was for me though, because like I never got to a place where I was like really like I think the answer is I need to kill myself. I've dealt with thoughts like that. I think every human being has thoughts like, oh, maybe life would be a little bit better if I wasn't here, like, or maybe it would be easier if like, or who would even miss me? We deal with those thoughts, but like I have dealt with like a depression a lot, especially as like an artist. Like I don't fit in many places. I'm like outcast a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So it's like. And a lot of the beginning part of my life was all, like I said, it was all trying to like gain acceptance from people, how many people liked me, how they viewed me, how they saw me, and all that. And then like when I finally had that epiphany in my life, and I was like, wait a second, there is something to this Jesus thing. There's a reason why it makes a room feel awkward when you say that name.
Yeah.
There's something to this God.
Isn't that a thing? It makes people uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah. And like it's that song like what a powerful name it is, like a worship song, and like it talks about like there's power in that name, and I didn't really understand what that meant until like it hit me. I was like, wait a second, that's what it means. Yeah, it makes people unsettled when they hear it if they're not right. Yeah, you know what I mean? And like for me, when I was like, okay, I have this epiphany, it was like my identity. Like I found out my identity, dude. I discovered because I like when you discover why you're on the earth, we're all on the earth for the exact same reason, and that's to help other people discover that identity. Your passions, your goals, the things that you love, like fitness and public speaking, those are your avenues to do that. Mm-hmm. What makes us all unique is we have our own ways to do that and to reach specific people. Exactly. But our purpose is all the same.
Exactly.
Religion causes wars. Mm-hmm. Relationship with God has never caused war. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes. We all come from God. We can't be one family, one world, one love, and all this stuff, but have 50 million gods. You know what I mean? If we're one family, when I'm a child, I mean, you can have adopted parents, but that's not your parents. You know what I mean? Like when you're born, you have your family, you have your mom, your dad. Those are your mom and dad. Those are your family. God's just like your father in heaven. He's the father over all of us. If you're not a Christian, if you don't know your identity, if you're not aware of that, you're an orphan. Yeah. It's like when you get adopted into like a family. They give you your new name and you get their last name and you're like, okay, this is my family now. This is who you know what I mean? And it's like, I just can't stress that enough. Because that's the most important thing in the entire world, identity. People are going to kill each other and they're going to be depressed and take drugs until they find that.
Now, I know we are both Christian. Now, this is a question that I've struggled with because when going through the pain and the loss, dude, I was an atheist. Yeah. I was an atheist, man.
Me too.
Like I had the books. I was reading Richard Dawkins. I was like in it, watching all the podcasts and listening to these very intelligent men and their point of views. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Felt very unfulfilled. Okay, how do you think about people who have never heard the word of God or Christ, the Christianity, but are living in a way that is with love, with understanding, with goodness, but yet they don't identify as a Christian, and they might be a world away. How do you think about that? Like, because
someone that already feels like they're just being like they're a good person.
Yeah, they're a good person. They help others, but yet they don't identify as Christian. Say they identify as some other religion. Say they are they're Muslim, and they're the best Muslim that's there. Yeah. Like that's something. Those are some murky waters that I've asked this question to many people, and it's very hard to answer that question.
I think it's simple.
Please answer.
I mean, there's multiple different things. It's not just one specific bag. Yeah. Well, I would start because what I needed to know within myself, because I was egotistical and prideful. I was like, I'm a good person. I thought I was a good person. And then I started realizing all the things in my past that I did that were bad. All the maybe the small lies I told throughout the day. You know what I mean? All the little bad things I actually did that I was like, but I'm still a good person. I just messed up.
Can I have water?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You grabbed me one too,
Yeah,
though.
I did. Thank you.
And like what I had to like. I'm just gonna wait a second.
Appreciate it.
But like the thing that for me was like, I wasn't a good person. No one's a good person. No matter how many good acts you do, how many old ladies you help across the street, you're not a good person.
Oh.
You still at time have thoughts that you can act upon or not act upon. You can entertain or not entertain. We all lie.
Yeah.
We don't have to, but we do. That's just our fallen nature as human beings, men, women. Like, we're all fallen. You know what I mean? Like, there's not, like, the Bible says, no man is good, not one. You know what I mean? Within our own strength, we can't do anything. You know what I mean? We're all dead men walking, dead men and women walking. From the moment we were born, we're dead inside. Because the world, like, we're just taught all this trash. You know what I mean? We're influenced in such bad ways when we're kids. We're the most, like, rebellious. You know what I mean? But, like, it's the way someone explained it to me is, like, God is a loving God. And he's like, well, if he's loving, why would he send people to hell? I mean, I did this, I did that. And it's like, he's a just God. He has to serve justice.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm a criminal, I went and I shot you right now, I might get demonetized just by faking it. Like, that's how as crazy as YouTube's getting.
Yeah.
But, like, if I shoot you, right, and then 10 years goes by, and all those 10 years I'm doing community service, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then my court date comes, they're going to be like, I'm going to go to court, and they're not going to be like, oh, well, we saw you did this and did that. They're going to have to get justice. And they're going to have to put me in jail for the crimes that I committed.
Can I share a story
Jesus,
with you?
yeah. Jesus, like, picture, like, a rich dude coming in there and being like, or like, say I robbed a bank and I had to pay a giant, like, fine and go to jail for 30 years and all that stuff. Jesus kind of came in and, like, pays the penalty off. He bribes the judge to let you, like, out. You know what I mean? And that's, like, no one, like, Allah didn't raise from the dead. Historically, you know, Allah didn't. I'm not gonna talk bad about other people's religion. Everyone has their own experience, but there's not life in that. There's not freedom in that. It's it's a set of rules to kind of live by. If you're really living that, like Muslim religion and things like that, there's rules and all these things, and it's not. It's like out of fear. But like in Christianity, it's like fear God. Fear God means like I don't want to let him down. I see what he did. I saw, like, what I went through and what he's able to pull me out of. I fear letting him down. I fear, like, just seeing the goodness of God and taking advantage of that.
And that's like a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to let your parents down. You know, like, when you're young and you're at a party, like, if your parents really, like, try to, like, teach you and guide you the right way, and you're at a party and, like, you're offered smoke some weed and drinks, and something's, like, inside you, like, I don't know, like, what my parents think. I don't want to let my parents down. That's the fear you have. For real.
It's true, though.
It's so good.
It's so true. You know, yesterday, it's so crazy you say this, like, Jesus takes the pain and takes the lashings, so to speak. So I was watching this this guy. He's an Orthodox priest who does these sessions, and it was called Are You Seeing Clearly? And it's your perception of God.
Yeah.
Because sometimes pain and sometimes trauma and anxiety and all this stuff can blind you. You are living in a world that's, one, not real, but it's real in your mind, but it's messed up through these pain that had happened to you. Say your childhood was messed up, you had a hard time, maybe your parents weren't the loving people, the nurturing people that you needed, and that you bring that to your adult life, and so you're navigating the world with this pain that is not real to you in the physical sense now, but it kind of skews your vision. So his series was about your relationship to God and how you view him. And he shared this story of this king. God is like a king. So they're talking about King David, who was a great man in the Bible. And there was this thief in his kingdom, someone who was stealing all the time. And what he said was, whoever finds this thief will get 40 lashings. 40 lashings as hard as he can. So they go out and they go to the kingdom and they search. They find the thief. The thief was his mother. So now is he going to 40 lash his mother? Is he going to be a just king? Or is he also going to show mercy? You know what he did? No, he put the woman, they put her down. He covered her up and said, administer the 40 lashings on himself. So the deed was, the penance was paid, but he took it on himself. So he was just, but he also showed mercy. And it was, I think that was a beautiful analogy or a metaphor into this to the world of how God is. It's like he will take your pain and he will take your suffering, but you gotta trust and you gotta believe and you gotta have faith.
Well, you know when you go to a church and they use all these like crazy dumb words. I don't want to say dumb, but like they're like the blood of Jesus and all
Yes.
these like words.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Like,
yes, I do.
The roots of all this that blew my mind when I learned it. Like back in the day, they had to like sacrifice like animals.
Yeah.
The animals was to kind of like symbolize cleaning. But like every sin you made, like if I'd lied, I would have to like sacrifice an animal to clean that. Then I'm clear again. Then if I lied 5 minutes later, I'd have to do it again.
Mm.
And God realized that human beings cannot be trusted in that way. They just can't do it on their own. They just can't. And
yeah, because human nature gets in there and it's like
yeah. And that's why like Jesus was called like the Lamb of God, the ultimate sacrifice. Mm-hmm. But when his blood was shed, and it had to be done innocently.
Yes.
Like, he had to have been pure. He had
willingly.
to take that. Yeah, he took our blame. He took our trouble. He took all of the things that we should have been up there for, and he did that.
Yeah, you know what he said too before he died? It is done.
Yeah.
It's like his mission was done. Like that's huge.
And that's where forgiveness and mercy and all that stuff comes in, where it's like grace and things like that. 100%. We don't have to sit there and chop an animal's neck off anymore. Like we don't have to. It's just we're good.
You know, too. It's. Are you?
And even the people that were taunting him while he was hanging on the cross, they were like messing with him. Where's your God at now? Like just taunting him, like Mr. Jesus, Mr.
Yeah.
And he was just like, forgive them. They don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Even while he was wrongly being like tortured and let to just hang there and die with other criminals. Like there's other people hanging around him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But they were actually guilty. He wasn't.
And you know the guy on the right, the best thing that he did in his life, he did a lot of bad. He stole, he cheated, he raped, he murdered. But the most significant thing that he did was repent. And he did in that that's the thing that shows in that moment is Jesus looked at him and said, "Hey, you will be in the kingdom of God with me." The guy repent. So that is a testament to anyone out there where you are in your life. If you've done a lot of bad shit, if you're in that hole and you're feeling a lot guilty and you're walking a path of transgressions that you believe God has given up on me, God has gone away from me, God could not possibly want. It's a lie. The devil is the master of lies. And he puts those lies in our head. God has never left you. God is there, and he is waiting for you to kind of come back to him. And he will open arms. Prodigal son. That story? Are you familiar with the story of the son who goes away and throws away his wealth, and he comes back super humble, and his father kills the fatted calf and has a party for him because his son is back into the fold. Yep. And that's how God is. It's quite incredible, and it's almost like it almost brings me, man, to like tears because it's like it's so real and it's worked in my life so much. I want to share this story of how
before you share this story.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, guys, I told you we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Tell him to start a YouTube channel. Make him start a YouTube channel. Like in like 5 minutes, when he's done telling this story, we're gonna catch up on the comments. So now's the time to comment.
All right, cool.
Anything you want, comment. Yeah. But also, don't you guys think he would make an awesome like YouTuber? He just has that attitude. Personality.
I want to. I have some self-confidence issues that I'm.
You should not.
Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. And
I have a beehive on my head.
Yeah. And
I wear glasses with a rubber band on them.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, very good. So
you look like chiseled out of like a.
I didn't always look that way. Yeah, I didn't always look that way. By the way, as of this morning, I've lost 126 pounds in 2.5 years, 126 pounds. And with the loss of the weight came the uplifting of my mind and my spirituality and everything. But I want to share this story because it just has to be shared. It's crazy. It's so crazy. So
hashtag story time. Grab your popcorn.
Story time.
We're going in.
Okay, so last year, December, it's like a year ago, I had not been to church in 7 or 8 years. I had fallen away, and I really, really, really was. Yo, Roy Merriman, what's up? What's up? What's up, brother? Good to see you. He's good. He's a good man. Roy's a good man. But
What's up, Roy? I don't know you, but what's up?
so it was like December of last year, and I was at the time with my ex-girlfriend. We were at the gym at Planet Fitness up here at in Johnstown, and we were working out. And the next day, I go to the gym, and I'm on this bike. And now, when I ride the bike, I attribute, and this is something for fitness too. It's like if you don't want to do cardio, I make it into like I tie a lot of emotion into it. So I put music that inspires me, and I believe that I'm riding into battle with the biggest sword, and I'm just like, ah! That's how I have to do my cardio. That's just how I have to do it. So I'm in the battle scene on the bike, just going at it, going. And this man, his name is Gary. His name was Gary as well. Comes up to me and he taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I know that you're really in it right now, but God is telling me I need to talk to you. God is telling me I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Okay." All right. And he goes, "You've been, and if you're with us this far," he's like, "You've been through a lot of pain in your life, haven't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You've lost a lot of people, haven't you?" I'm like, "Do you know who I am?" And he's like, "I have no clue who you are. But God is telling me that he wants to work through you, but you need to accept him back into your life, and you haven't, have you?" I'm like, "No." And we prayed together. And at that moment, I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." I felt it in my heart, and that was the start of the fire that has been burning in my heart ever since. Sometimes God puts people, places, and things in your life for an opportunity for you to take it, and because He wants you to come back to the fold. He wants you to do the good works, and He gives you those opportunities. You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention, and you have to see, and you have to pray for it. So I took that, and instead of blowing it off as this guy is weird or crazy, I was like, I think I needed that. So I don't drive, and this is another thing that is part of the story. I'd lost my license because I had a DUI in 2015. I ran away from it. And it came back to bite me. And that's another thing. You can't run away from those things, guys. You can't run away. So I walk over to Applebee's in the winter, and there's this woman who had just started working at Applebee's. Her name is Victoria, and she is like the mother hen of Applebee's. She's always caring about people.
Walk down the road and get her.
We could go. Yeah, we should. She would love it, man. I guarantee you, she would love it. She is hip with it. But so I started singing the Our Father prayer, and singing it in the Carpatho-Russian Orthodox manner. That's my church. I'm Russian.
I don't know what that word what is that?
Carpatho-Russian.
Carpatho?
Yeah, so it's like in the foothills of the Carpatho-Russian mountains, kind of by Austria. That's where my grandma's parents and my grandfather's great-grandfather's parents are from, and they actually met in shade. They didn't know each other over there, but they met here, and then they married. It's beautiful. But so I'm singing the Our Father prayer in that tone, and she walks into the kitchen, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what church do you go to? What's your religion?" And I was like, "I'm Orthodox Christian, but I haven't been to church for some time." And so she was adamant about taking me to church. I started to go with her in December of 2018, and I tell you, I walked into there, and I was very nervous because I haven't been there. I felt guilty coming here, going to church, and I cried. I cried because it was the most beautiful thing. I remember looking up. There's a giant icon at this top of the ceiling, and I was looking there, and I just kept saying, "Thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God." And if any of you are fans of Fred Rogers, on one of his episodes, he taught the one boy that the greatest prayer that you can say is "Thank you, God." So I have been going to church for the last year. And God has worked in my life many, 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 many times. I had decided, as I ran away from my DUI, to turn myself into the police. I turned myself into the police in February. Mind you, I was so scared because I had a $25,000 warrant out for my arrest. And mind you, I don't have $25,000. Like I went into there and I remember sitting in the holding cell in handcuffs, just praying, please, 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 anything. You know, when you're at the ropes, and something's hard is going to happen in your life, you're going to pray. I got up, I talked to the woman, and just so it happened, she said, Josh, you sent a letter to the judge, didn't you? And I had sent one like 5 months back. I kind of forgotten. She's like, I had the chance to read your letter, and I'm going to waive the $25,000. But you better get to your court date in April. Thank you, God. So I go to the court date. I got a lawyer, and my lawyer was very adamant that I would not be serving any jail time. He was like, "Yeah, man, you've been doing so many good things in the community. You do public speaking, you volunteer, you're taking control of your life." He's like, "That will all count." Well, I'm in the courtroom and I'm like feeling pretty good, and like, okay, whatever I got to do, probably gonna have a fine. He looks back at me midway through and he's like, "Oh, we can go out in the hallway." Video ended. He's like, "We can go out in the hallway." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, man, you're going to have to serve some jail time." I'm like, I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, we can ask for like you to do like have a couple days to get your affairs in order," because it was in Ocean City, Maryland. And
so you got to go to jail in Maryland?
Yeah, go to jail in Ocean City, Maryland.
At least next to the ocean. Look out the windows, dude, see the water.
The windows were like this big. Like that's what I just saw the other side of the building. It honestly, it tested me. I had a lot of cabin fever in there because I didn't see the real sun for 20 days, and I'm about that life. I need to be out and about. I went into there. They said I would do 17 days, and in there, I was tested more ways than I've ever been tested in my life. A lot of people who were not the best people. I was scared. I didn't know anyone. People were going to fight me. I'm a big dude. Like all this stuff. The very first minute that I got to my cell, this dude, Bobby, "What's up, man? Nice to meet you. How you doing? You need anything? I got you some shorts." He gave me shorts. He gave me a radio. I'm like, "Wow, what the heck is this?" He's like, "My name's Bobby. We take care of people in here." And he ended up being such a good servant and man for God. Now, Bobby, mind you, was one of the biggest cocaine dealers on the Eastern Seaboard. He had slang it forever. He had hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he was in jail because he got caught. And he realized that this was the last time that he wanted to be in a place like that. So in jail, you have a lot of free time. Like you have a lot of free time. Dude, I did 7,000 push-ups in 20 days in there. I counted them. I had a workout plan and everything. I made workout plans for all the guards. Like it honestly, jail. He's
in jail coming up with workout plans. I'd be in jail like banging my head off the wall.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun there because it's all about your mindset, like what you go into it. I remember going in, my sisters were walking beside me crying as I'm going into the jail. And I wrote every day, like I wrote every single day, even about that moment. I was like, no more, take your emotion out of it into the sense like, woe is me. Just, it's a test in life. Level up, level your shit up, and it's a test. And if you do it that way, if you look that way, it's easier. So, I know this is a long story, but it's just, we're getting there. Okay, all right. So, I made a lot of friends, and I started to tell them kind of like who I am. I love seeing potential in people, and I love seeing potential in literally everything, even in a room, even in a whatever. So I'm starting to like motivate people in jail. like I remember we had like workouts we were doing, and I started trying to get people to read books because I really believe in educating yourself. If you're struggling with something in your life, the internet and books are at your availability to level yourself up. Like it's right there for you.
YouTube University.
Yes, YouTube changed my life. Like seriously,
Me too.
Joe Rogan and like those podcasts. So I had a routine, but I was still very bored. And actually, I want to talk about Katie real quick too. And this is the power of a story, ladies and gentlemen. Before I went to jail, advocating for myself to the judge. To the judge, I had to say my story. I kind of was like telling him who I am and what I'm doing in my life, and that jail wouldn't be the best thing for me, and please have mercy. And you have to pay the price. But a woman in the courtroom heard my story. I had said, my lawyer had advocated for me, saying, Josh has lost some people in his life. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations. He's struggled with alcohol. Please be lenient on him. And I had the opportunity to talk for myself. Well, the very first night in jail, I get a knock on my holding cell because I wasn't put into main population yet. Horner! That's what I hear. I'm like, what? I'm like sleeping. Your lawyer's here. I'm like, really? So they like walk you. They have to pat you down, and you're walking with the handcuffs. I go down into this. I look in, and it's definitely not my lawyer. But he's like, come in. I'm like, okay. He's like, sit down. His name is Tony. He was an immigration lawyer for people, and he said, a woman just, this is God, by the way. This is where God works. It's incredible. A woman just stopped me in the parking lot. She's trying to come and see you. You advocating and telling your story has impacted her so much, and she knows that you're down here by yourself with no family, and that your life has been very hard, and she wants you to know that people are caring about you on the outside, and that she will be visiting you on Sunday. I'm like, whoa. And then he's like, Josh, you have an opportunity to help people in here. And I said, Tony, that's kind of that's how I'm looking at it. He's like, okay, good job. And we like exchanged, like he gave me his number and stuff. And so I go back, and then I met Bobby. Sunday, Katie comes in, and she told me that she was inspired by my story, and she started following me on my Instagrams and watching my videos. She sent me 16 books in jail. 16 books, man. Self-help, the power of your subconscious mind, all this stuff. I read 26 books in 20 days when I was in jail, okay? Like, that's the amount of time I had. So
I wouldn't be able to read 26 pages.
Yeah, dude, it was great. But Katie visited me every Sunday, and she kind of kept my spirits high. She gave me a friend and someone to look forward to, someone to care, and that's the power of a story. Because it's like it gave me the opportunity to invest in myself, but also look, in God's grace has given me someone that came to this person, doesn't know me at all, and we're still really good friends right now. It's been beautiful. So the second Monday in there, you really are bored. Like what you're doing is you're walking, you're working out, you're eating, or sleeping. Playing cards is a good thing too. I really enjoyed Pinochle. But we went to church.
Did they give you good food at least in jail?
It's
like
not. It's
high
like
school food.
Yeah, it's like high school food, but cut in half. I lost 17 pounds in there. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But you could buy food and chips and stuff. But I was like really trying to stay healthy. So we go to church, and it's on a Monday night, and a bunch of us went, and we talked to this man about God and just how it helped him in his life, and we had to share a little bit about our story. And Bobby, I didn't want to talk at all. I just wanted to chill and hear everyone else. Bobby's like, this man's story right here is incredible. And I'm like, Bob, come on, man. And so I ended up telling my life and saying how God has worked and how I believe that, God is love, and I just try to operate in love and try to help people. I knew that I was going to say the prayer after the end of it. Something had come down to me. Something told me, but I said, God, I'm not going to take it. I'm only going to do it if it's given to me, okay? If the opportunity arises where it's presented. So we ended up stopping. You know, it was time to be done, and this kid named Will, who went to Shippensburg University like I did. Let's go Red Raiders. He played football. We connected. I don't know how. I met him in a jail in Maryland. Like it's freaking crazy how this person came into my life. He goes, "All right, Josh, get it," and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's real. It's real." So I said, I led the prayer. I led the prayer. We all like grouped up like in a huddle, led the prayer. Please God bless these men. Like let us see our mistakes and move forward. Let us not harbor and live in the past. Let us see what is in front of us now and work to be better. Okay? And I just so happened to turn my eye to the left, and there's a book, a bright yellow book on this bookcase, and it says Joshua. Like it was literally calling to me.
I remember you telling me this story.
Like literally calling me. And I'm like, okay, it's a book that says Joshua. Well, I'm gonna go pick it up. And I walked over there and I'm like, can we take this? Can we take books? He's like, you can take anything you like. I'm like, all right. So I went back to my cell and I read this book. And it is about the second coming of Christ, but he's comes back as this man named Joshua, and he works his ways, and he tries to instill his father's nature in the communities that he's at, and it literally showed me. It showed me how to live. It showed me how to be a man. It showed me what I wanted to be, where religion didn't, and you know, like it didn't. Following Jesus's path and how he was and is what really appealed to me. I cried so many times on that floor in that jail cell, on my knees, praying to God, where please accept me back into the fold. I will live for you. I will do your work. Many times it became a routine for me to start praying, to start grabbing everything that I could about God. Started to read the scriptures, started to read the Psalms, started to pray, started to really cultivate that, and it gave me so many ideas. So what I did on my second to last day there is I took a piece of paper and I wrote 100 missions on it. 100 missions. And it took me like an hour to rip them apart. And some of these missions were like, do 50 push-ups, plus 5 strength. Introduce yourself to the new person in the cell. Make him feel welcome, plus 3 compassion. Read a book this week, plus 2 knowledge.
It's not like Grand Theft Auto back in the day. You pass a
Yes.
mission, you get like
well,
plus
it's like a video game.
Yeah.
Like I like attribute life as like a video game, and how are you going to level up? Leveling up by books, leveling up by helping people, leveling up by tough situations.
Leveling up is the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. So I took them, and I put in a request to go to the library. And I took these 2 guys that I knew. One was named Levin and one was named Rob, and they both had showed me so much about life. Levin was an alcoholic. Rob was was recovering heroin addict. But they both wanted to go and fix and understand and accept their problems and move forward and help others. So I said, I dumped these 100 things out on the table. I was like, guys, I need your help. Let's put these in books. And they're like, are you serious? Yes. So it's like the grace of God can work in you. And if you accept it in, look.
Oh, he got the book right here.
Yeah, I brought the book, man. This isn't the actual book. I came home and bought the entire series, Joshua by Joseph F. Gerzon. This book has changed my life. It's amazing. Please. So.
Well, Art of a Lobster. What's your real name? Let me know your real name. Come on. You commented so many times. We're like technically friends. So let me know your name. He wants to know like what books you'd recommend.
What books I would recommend?
Yeah. And then we're going to get into all the other comments in a second.
So, to be honest...
you were just talking about a book. So.
He said he's atheist, correct? I'm pretty sure
I don't know if he's an atheist. I think he said he was. Yeah, honestly, I'm an atheist. Okay. But I wish... Dude, hold on. Can I just say one thing after reading that comment? But I wish I could believe. Dude, he's already like... God's already working on his heart. Yeah. Because to be an atheist and to say, I wish I could believe. Yeah. It's beautiful. Dude, if you don't message me after this, message me on Instagram. Your whole life's about to change.
And the thing is you're seeing this for a reason. You know that. Like, we just talked about God presents people, places, and things into your life for opportunities for you to do it. So this is something where it's like, yo, catch it. Yo, grab it.
Yeah. And you don't choose God. God chooses you. He chooses you out of the crowd of people. and wants to like make an example out of you. So for you to even have those thoughts, God's working on you right now. Even though you say you're an atheist and you identify as an atheist and all that stuff, keep your heart open. Be willing to learn. Have a teachable heart. God wants us all to like have a teachable heart. Allow ourselves to be taught and to be open to new things and ideas. Dude, you're on to a good start. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Books I recommend. Obviously the Joshua books, they're beautiful, man. I try to give these books out to as many people as I can, because it. Actually, my intention was to finish this and give you it, but I have like 40 pages left that I didn't have enough time. You will get a Joshua book.
Plants and Passion said, "Tell us all the books."
Yeah. Okay. Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. That's a huge book that deals with every aspect. It's not a religious book by any means, but it deals with some your health, sleep, sex, relationships, everything. It's a great.
Can I just cut you off one more time?
Yeah, please do.
We were referring to Art of Loster as a he.
Oh, it's a she.
It's a she, and her name is Steph.
Oh, what's up, Steph?
Steph, what's up?
Sorry about that.
She's a she, but okay.
Okay. Another good book, Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. He's been a really influential person. He's a clinical psychologist from Canada, and you can find him on YouTube. He has a lot of archetypal structures and ways of thinking that I think are needed in our society and our culture now. And he is based in Christian religion, and that's a really good book. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by I forget the first two initials, but Murray is the last name. That book has opened me to realization that the power of your subconscious mind and what you think about is really how your world is. What you're consistently thinking about is what you will manifest in your life. The secret, there's I could go on. I made a goal for myself to read 50 books this year, and I'm at 63 right now. And I'm telling you, the more information you can put into this, you can work the world a lot better.
But it has to be the right information.
Yeah, sure. You have to
Because
be
like
strong
I heard
enough.
someone say the one time about like having you take all these pieces of information and you have this super heavy tool belt, but it's so heavy it just kind of weighs you down.
That's a
like
good.
you spend your whole life
That's a good way.
adding on all these things, but in the end, you just like you're so weighed down with all this knowledge and all the stuff you've learned that are so weighed down and thinking you know it all and all the stuff that you don't actually build anything with it.
Exactly. You do not want to become a historian of knowledge in the sense that you don't take the action. Action completes the magic, people. Like you can, for real, like you can talk about it and know it as much as you want, but action is really where you cultivate the happiness and the life that you want. Like you got to apply it.
Elijah wants to know where we met. We already talked about it.
You and I?
Yeah.
Applebee's.
I humbled myself. He humbled himself. We've got jobs at Applebee's. I was sweeping the parking lot. Such a cool thing, I know. I was sweeping the parking lot. He comes walking around the corner. And
say how it was. Because I said how it was on my end. Like,
I mean, to me, I just see like this big bodybuilder looking dude come walking around the corner. And what did you say?
I've been looking for you.
Yeah, and to me, I was just like,
wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, dude.
And then I knew about him because my brother told me about him, and then my brother also told him about me. I just didn't know, like, it's different. Yeah. And it's weird when you like see a person in real life. It's just like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it caught me off guard. I don't know, but yeah. Then we've been trying to plan this day since that day, pretty much.
For like months.
We gotta get together and do something.
Yeah.
Then we were like, I would take you home from work sometimes, and we'd sit in the car twice now, I think.
2 hours. It was the one day.
And we just had some of the craziest conversations, and I was like, dude, we really need to just like. I wish this is recorded so people can hear it.
But the thing that I really appreciate about you, Gary, is that you are not afraid to show your faith. And that's very evident on your social media. It's evident in your life in general. And that's an amazing thing, dude, because leading by example, you have given me the opportunity and the inspiration to do the same, especially in a field, in a water that is murky. Because when you are so adamant about your faith, you will face opposition, and you are segregating yourself in a way that is true, but it's also like the calibration of the truth is a little difficult for people, because by your growth and your knowing of yourself, you are a reflection in a mirror to people of what they lack and what they are not. And that makes people angry sometimes. And but it's a good thing. It's a good thing, because on the path to the righteous and the path to Christ, you are a mirror to others. And that mirror can save or break people.
God like guarantees it. It's not like, oh, this may happen. He guarantees that you're going to be persecuted. And persecuted is just kind of a fancy word for like people are going to hate you. They're going to attack you for it. They're going to try to break down your character and make people think things of you because of how you are. Like make you feel like, oh, you're better. You think, just all these things. But the thing that really like set me onto a path where it was like, I don't really care. Is like, I was lied to my whole life by the world, by my parents. Not that they chose to lie to me. They just didn't know how to tell me the truth. They didn't know what the truth was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're lied to and you live in your whole life for the devil, for the enemy. When you're living your whole life thinking, I'm having fun, I'm doing all this, and it's like when you have that breakthrough moment, that epiphany, and then you like, it all hit you, like it all hit me at one time, and it was like, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. Now I get to discover it more. It's fun. But like, when you work, like, and I think Kanye West even he said something about it now too. And he's like, he worked for the devil his whole life. You know what I mean? It's like when you realize that, and then when you realize what's true, in my spirit, I'm how you look like in your physical. I'm like a bodybuilder in my soul and in my spirit, because it's like, I'm like, oh. And that's why I almost need to match it.
Yeah.
My physical needs to be what my spiritual is.
I feel
and
that.
That's why I'm like, dude, I need to get in shape. I don't know if that's ever
just
gonna happen.
you
but
know
I need
a personal trainer.
Where?
But seriously, I feel that, man, and it's cool. It's cool to be like that. It's cool to be like that. You're a warrior for Christ.
But you can see that I'm not crazy with it. Like I'm not at work like
Exactly.
Jesus. Like
exactly.
I'm not, which wouldn't be wrong, but I'm not crazy with
because
it. I just quiet. I let people talk to me if they do.
And that's the thing, though, because there's a grace in that. Because you have to. It's like with anything. How do you calibrate the attractiveness of it? How do you show? And you're doing it. You're not projecting, but you're living it, and that is more worthy than someone who is all in your face all the time and pushing this and well, you shouldn't be doing that and you shouldn't do da 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 da. It's in your time. I live my life. I know who I am. You can see the works that I do, and people catch on. People start to see it. It's a beautiful chain reaction.
Well, God, like it teaches, like that's what like the Bible teaches. It's like to get as much in as you can, like as much of like the Word of God as you can.
Yeah.
Don't go out and push it on people. Just live your life. It says like just something along the lines of like just be like quiet and ready. Mm-hmm. Like just be ready for someone to come up and ask you about why you like that or like what you believe in and all this. And then when like it's time.
Do you remember life before you were this way? Before you had found yourself and your path in your life, and how was it? Normal thought processes.
I'm interviewing you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's I find like for myself in that way, like things felt fleeting, a little bit more.
What do you mean?
In the sense of, like, purpose was not there. I just kind of drifted.
I was trying to create my own purpose.
And
it worked, but it didn't work because I was like that's what I meant with like that Naka dude and all these people. Like I literally had I wanted to be like a rock star.
Yeah.
I still love music. I'm still gonna make music and share it with all you guys, but I thought that's what I like solely wanted to be. You know what I mean? And there was and I wanted to like inspire people, make people happy. Like all my stuff was, I feel like inspirational. Even my old YouTube videos, if you go back a couple of years, like it's still all trying to encourage people. But it's hard to encourage people when you're not feeling encouraged, or it's hard to always encourage people and not have anybody encourage you. And it's like you actually physically need people there to encourage you, or you need to always pull up a YouTube video and this and that. Like with God, I'm tapped right into the source. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need people to encourage me.
Yeah.
Because it's like I am encouraged.
I like that.
And my purpose and stuff like that, I was just trying to find it. I always knew God was real. I didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
I was trying to prove other people wrong, like the atheists, and like, no offense, Steph, but you ain't no atheist. We already know. God's working on your heart.
Yeah, you're here.
But I don't know. I would sometimes take their side because I wanted to like prove people wrong.
Right.
And like, I'm 100% with, because atheists don't want to be. This is off. I'm getting off on a side tangent, but atheists don't want to believe in God because they see the way churches and Christians represent God.
Yeah.
And I'm with them 100%.
Yeah.
Like, if me being a Christian, and like I don't even feel like for the church and for like most Christians, like I see it. It's like a surface value thing. It's like just trying to look good and show up on Sunday morning and go home. There's
not all churches.
No, not all at all,
not
for
all
sure.
churches.
But the majority,
Yeah.
and people can get butthurt about that, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
I can only say the truth.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And like
yeah.
90% of them are not good.
Yeah.
Not that their intentions behind it are to like, I want to manipulate these people, but it's like were brought up under a false thing, and now they're preaching the only thing they've known, and it's just like this thing. But
you need to read this book. I think it talks very much.
does it come in an audiobook?
To be honest, it might. I don't know. I could read it to you, Gary.
It's almost 2020, dude. Everything's possible. Yeah. I mean, hey, you want to read off? Call me up, read me a bedtime story.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I feel that. I think.
But what was your? Why'd you ask that? Had it been like something?
Well, I was asking that because I was asking myself too.
Yeah.
Because I remember how I was when before I am now. Like, my day is very structured around God. Like, I really believe, like, I bring my problems to God, and I don't wait till like Sunday. Like, if I'm having things in my life that are a little bit complicated and a little bit too much, I pray about it. I present what I am having trouble with. I ask. I don't ask for things to be fixed. I don't ask for like, give me this. I ask for wisdom. I ask for strength. I ask for sight. And it works out. Like we were talking earlier, it works out. Maybe not how I wanted it to work out, but it works out in God's plan for the better of everyone involved.
Well, I kind of share like something that in my life personal that kind of has along the lines of that in a way, with like, God will just do it the way He wants it to be done. Like, God gives us the ability to choose, right? So it's like, you could still go off and do it your own way, and you could achieve worldly success and all that stuff all day, every day. You know what I mean? It's easy. There's so much money and stuff in the world, dude. It's so easy to get that dream. And I wanted that dream. God really put me through a test because like you know Johnstown.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to make a name for yourself or to make it out of Johnstown or do something bigger than just working at Applebee's.
Yeah.
I was on that road to doing that. Like, I was that kid in high school that everyone thought was going to probably grow up and be like a loser. A few people
really?
believed in me. You know what I mean? Like, a few people that...
What high school?
Ferndale.
Okay.
A few people believed in me, but the majority of people, they just knew what they saw. You know what I mean? On the surface. So it was like, you can't really be mad at them. But like, what was I saying? I forget.
The road and having God's.
Oh yeah,
God's
yeah.
path.
It was like I was like doing all these things. I was like, dude, no one really gets to do this, and they were like all the time happening. I was like, people would die just for that one experience. I'm like, this is just happening for me all the time. Like, this is crazy. And the closer I got to those things, dude, I promise you, like, I was looking around at it all, and it was like, but this is not the answer. So like when I hear celebrities and like successful people be like, dude, money's not gonna make you happy, like this isn't the answer and all these things, they're not just selling you that, they really mean that. And like, I didn't get to that level, but I was like able to open the curtains and peek in. And not many people get to have that experience. And like I did, and I realized like the people that were there were just as lost and confused and broken and angry and bitter and as like I ever was. So it was like, this can't be the answer. And like, but I didn't want to give it up because I knew money was going to come, and I knew like success and fame and all that stuff was going to come, dude. And like, I knew it was so promising, dude. It was just like, I could feel it. Like, it was just right there. All I had to do was keep pressing on pretty much. And then God is like, He put me in this like thing where it was like, when He woke me up, it was like the whole world flipped upside down. And it was like everything that I thought I was doing was like it was all like a lie to me. It was all wrong. Everything I thought I believed, and it was like it took me a long time because I kind of got into a dark place for a while too. I was like, but what do I do now? My whole life I spent building up this thing, and you're telling me I gotta walk away. You're telling me I gotta like not do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then like it took me a while to like kind of realize, like God doesn't talk to you in a voice. He doesn't talk. You're not gonna hear God in your head. And people think that. And then people think like, oh, I don't hear God's voice. I must not be as close. This guy's special. You can hear God. Yeah. Anyone that tells you they heard God's voice, they're lying to you. Sorry. God does not say he's going to talk to you in an actual voice. He talks to your heart. He reveals things to you. And you know what I mean? And like, to me, it was like he revealed, he put in my heart, was like, I don't want you to give up music. I don't want you to give up YouTube. I don't want you to give up wanting to play on stages and be in front of people and talk. Like, I gave you that for a reason. But I want you to use that for me.
Yes.
Don't seek yourself. Don't seek people's acceptance and looking at you as a rock star. Yeah. Get up there. Tell them what I did in your life. Sing about it. Talk about it. Whatever avenue you choose. Make a YouTube video about it. Yeah. Just do it for that. And even that was hard. Because as soon as I started doing it, dude, everyone left me. All these awesome people on here right now, dude, like, they're like the needle. They're like the diamond in the rough, dude. They're like the needle in a haystack. Like, God brought me, like, some of the coolest people. But, like, dude, everyone across all social media just started, like, abandoning me, fighting with me. All the people I thought loved me for me. Maybe we even had this conversation. Yeah. It's like, they just, like, all this crap. And it wasn't until, up until, like, the last year and a half where it really was, like, I was completely, like, free. Like, I felt free. Like, I could just be who God wants me to be. Because it's, like, if you just say you believe and you don't really believe, you're going to have doubts all day, every day. Oh, yeah. I have zero doubts. I know if I pursue God first, he says he's going to provide everything else.
Wake up and seek God.
Yeah.
That's what you said to me. Yeah. You said that to me the last Sunday, dude, and that stuck, man. That was cool.
For real, like, if you wake up every single day and you're trying to navigate your own day, you're going to just, it could end up good, but that's just taking chances. Mm-hmm. That's like shooting in the dark. But, like, when you wake up and you just seek God's will and, like, you just go. Don't structure your days too much. Like, like, we had 6 o'clock. You're like, dude, I'll be there around, like, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until, like, a little bit after 7, probably.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
7:38.
But, like, most people would be like, all right, it's after 6. All right, we're going to cancel another day.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, dude. Like, this is the way it's going to go down. Like, this isn't...
Yeah.
And even when you said I didn't answer, you're like, dude, I don't know. Like, what was going to happen? But you're like, I knew it was
it was going to happen. It's exactly... You know what's crazy? When you...
I'm sorry, I got off on a long tangent. Dude. This is supposed to be...
Yo, 10 push-ups to your self-conscious I'm sorry. Like, that's another thing I have. Like, okay, so I have, like, these little tips and tricks that I put all over my house, and I forget things a lot, so I have to have tattoos. I have stay in it, which means stay in the present moment, because we do tend to go to the future, which is anxiety, and the past is depression. So...
Yes, this is live, by the way.
So stay in the moment. But I have this thing I noticed the group of my friends that we struggle with some mental health things, and a lot of comes with that is the fear that you are, talking too much or going off of, you feel like people are judging you, and there's a lot of self-conscious I'm sorries. So I came up with this, if you do a self-conscious I'm sorry, you have to do 10 push-ups, and my sisters get me all the time because I still do it. But, yeah,
you could probably do 10 push-ups with one arm, though.
Well, me and my one buddy we challenged each other to do 300 push-ups every day for a year, and I think it's coming up on a year in February. Yeah, I've kind of been in and out of that, but I know.
Well, all right, go ahead, finish it up. I want to get into some fitness stuff.
Yeah,
for my own selfish reasons. I need to know some stuff.
Let's get into some fitness stuff.
About 2 years ago, I don't know, maybe I already told you this story too. Like 2 years ago, I was like, I need to get in shape. I need to start working on getting healthy. Because even right now, like you can see me keep going. Like, I got back problems, dude.
Okay.
And I just my muscles aren't being used the way that they should be. So they're kind of like locking up. 25. Mm-hmm. Just turned 25 in November. But I feel like I'm 85.
Okay.
I really do. Like, it's bad. My knees, everything. Like, 2 years ago, I was working out like crazy. There's even, like, old YouTube videos you want to find, like,
really?
my workout.
No, that's what's up.
And it's like, it's just me in, like, a bedroom.
Yeah.
But, I was working out, like, a lot, dude. I was, like, I was seeing the results. Like, there's, like, veins popping out of my arms. And I was, like, you see the most results when you first start. That's what I've learned. Like, you see, like, the biggest changes right pretty much within the first, like, a couple times. And then so kind of a bigger gap between you start seeing like muscles and
Right.
But like I was seeing it through a part. I was seeing the changes to the point where I was like, okay, this is motivating me. Like I can see it actually happening. I didn't know. I only knew half of it. I knew if I work out, I get built, but I didn't know that you tear the muscles and they need to rebuild, and that gap like fills in. That's how the muscles get bigger. I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating as much as I was working out. I got sick for like a week, throw up, everything. I couldn't eat, so everything I just worked to build up. By the end of that like week and a half, was gone, and I was thinner than I was before I started.
Really?
And then I didn't have the motivation to start again. So how important is eating?
Oh yeah.
To like
Dude,
working out.
It's paramount. Like for real.
And does it matter if it's quality food or not? Because I know some bodybuilders eat junk.
Listen.
But you can be built but not healthy.
Yeah. Yes. So I believe, and this.
And are you healthy?
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty healthy.
I just asked you like 40 questions.
Yeah. So okay, to explain this, I have to like jump back a little bit. So I had always wanted to just be big. I was a college football player, played college rugby, and like I would work out really hard, but I would eat whatever I really wanted. I kind of kept it clean. But it wasn't until recently, like this last year, where I've been educating myself and buying some books and reading some things and watching some podcasts on fitness, that it is so important what you put in your body. It really is. And the thing, dude, it's like we're an avatar, okay? Anybody out there who plays any RPGs, like especially Fable. I don't know if anyone's played Fable. Have you played Fable? It's a great game, okay? But you can eat cookies and cakes in that game and you get fat. Right? But if you're eating like chicken and stuff, it replenishes your energy, it gives you stamina. It's the same thing. If you're eating like whole foods that are not affected with like GMOs and steroids, and you're eating a lot of vegetables, the energy that you will get is insane. And then you could supplement with supplementation, different types of spices, things that affect your body in ways that level up everything. Level up your testosterone, level up your eyesight, your hearing, your heart, your blood. Like it's incredible, man. It's so important. It's honestly so important. Even you can not outwork a bad diet. You can't.
So if someone's looking to get healthy, what's more important, what you're eating or the amount of workout you're putting in?
What you're eating.
Yeah.
100%. So I am also a personal trainer, and all of my clients, the majority of them want to lose weight. That's just kind of a thing. But some of them also want to gain muscle. And the first thing I look at is their lifestyle. What are you putting into your body? How are you spending your time? What you're eating not only affects you physically, but up here as well.
Yeah.
Up here as well. Sugars, carbohydrates that peak your insulin, and then you crash. What comes along with a crash? The feelings of being tired, the feelings of like apathy and not laziness. Like if you're feeling that way, you're not energized, you're not wanting to pursue the goals, you're not as creative. Like that plays a huge part into it.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa. And I'm just realizing these things in the last year. So I've been adopting them into my life, and it's like, holy shit, you really can like do some work here. And then it's sleep too. It's like, if you aren't getting...
Yeah, that's one thing people like. Dude, I don't go to sleep half the time until like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I wake up and go to work.
Yeah. Like if you aren't getting like 35 sleep cycles a week, and a cycle is 90 minutes. If you're not doing that a week, you are really holding yourself back. And it is physically, like there's some physical things that hold you back. You can gain weight from it. You can increase your blood pressure. But what I really, really like to focus on is the mind, because everything starts in your mind. Like if you are taking care of your mind, everything else falls into place. So sleeping and eating are very important, and a lot of people think they're not. A lot of people kind of just brush them aside. It's like you want to have a good. This is the only body you have. This is the only mind you have. Take care of that thing, and it will take you further. It's like,
Nah, it's fine, dude. We're in 2020. Science is far enough along.
yeah,
They'll just put a new part on.
well, I mean that is a thing too, I guess.
No,
but,
I'm kidding.
But it is like, it's crazy. When I was 365 pounds, man.
Can we pull up some of those pictures? How do we find them? How do we find that one? If you're okay with sharing,
Yeah,
can we pull up one here?
Do we turn it on?
If it's,
Oh,
I don't know if it's already on or not. Wow, man.
dude, you're good. It's like,
All right, let's pull these up.
yeah.
But then when we do this, I promise we're gonna get to your comments. 'Cause there's a lot
Oh
of
yeah, let's get to the yeah. See, dude, we could just talk forever. What do you
really
even?
good. We have to do a part 2.
Yeah, part 2, part 3, part 6.
Yeah. There we
Dang,
go.
look at that sick haircut right there. I do it myself.
Okay,
cool.
where is it on?
Instagram. Yeah, you can go to Instagram. Oh, there I am.
There you are.
Yeah, we'll go down. It's down. Look at all that. Yeah.
Going through all your personal
There's
stuff.
there. So we
Right
can
here?
go here. This is my first motivational. This is my first motivational speech ever. It was at Penn Highlands, and
Which is a college.
you call it, yeah, college around here. That's not my heaviest, but that was about 2 years after. Go to the rugby one. It's up. I think it's up. Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah.
This guy, he 365 pounds in that picture.
Let's see if we can see it on there.
Oh, okay.
Why is it not playing?
In that picture.
Let's see if we can. No. Yeah, we'll be able to see it anyway.
Okay. So it's 365 pounds here. But what comes with that is self-doubt, insecurity, couldn't breathe to go up a flight of steps. That was actually one reasons why I started this too, is like I walked up a flight of steps and I'm like, holy crap, I can't even breathe. Just living in a body that... I can't even breathe.
I'm sorry.
No, you're cool, man. Living in a body that wasn't conducive to the things that I wanted to create and have in my life. It's like, if you want to be this guy who promotes, physical health and mental health, you got to live it too. And now, since that day, I mean, 126 pounds lost. I lost a human, but I gained so much up here. I gained how to be disciplined, how to be consistent, how to believe in myself, how to like face adversity. It's like I didn't know my journey of self-development started here. It started with taking control of the physical form. And then I started to adopt more things in. Like, what else could I level up in my life? Like, so it's a journey. It's hard, but it's so worth it. And there's a lot of materials out there. It's like, what works for you, though, might not be what works for me. And I think that's a very important thing to note, is there is not a blanket to how to do this. A lot of it is trial and error for you. I was a vegetarian for 4 months. I lost 60 pounds in 4 months being a vegetarian, but I was very not fulfilled. I didn't like it. I came back to meat after that and kind of just went a diet that's low in carbohydrate. Don't eat much sugar at all. Sugar is poison. It gives you inflammation if you're aching and stuff. Like,
sugar?
Watch away from the sugar. Yeah, dude, for sure.
Is there sugar in lemonade?
Yeah.
I love some good lemonade, dude. That's all I've been drinking recently.
Yeah, there's definitely sugar in that. Yeah, man.
So stay away from my lemonade.
Yeah, well, I mean, every once in a while, and it depends. And that's another thing too, Gary. It's like, it's not just about what you eat; it's about what you eat and when you eat it. So it's like, if you're gonna do a workout, okay, then you can maybe fill in a little bit more carbs before your workout to use that energy in your workout. Maybe get a little bit afterwards with some good protein and some fat. Like, fat is not the enemy. Carbohydrates, I would say, for the most part, if you're looking to really clean up yourself, is to stay away from some things that are like cookies and cakes, obviously, but.
Is there like the best time of day to like eat? Some people.
So I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat until 12 p.m. every day, and I stop eating at night around 8 or 9. And the benefits of that are exponential. I was hitting a plateau with my weight loss and just at fitness in general. I couldn't lose, like I was like at 270, 280, and I started intermittent fast. And what that is you don't eat, until that time. 16 hours is a good way to start. And in doing that, you start to boost your fat metabolism. You're burning things faster. You're becoming mentally sharper. With a little bit of hunger inside, it kind of creates this sense of urgency in the sense that you're more alert, you're more aware. And it just, doing challenges like that builds you up. I mean, you're completing tasks, and I think humans do very well at completing tasks. Like it also is like a pat on the back, but it's also like, I did that. Okay, well maybe I push myself a little bit more. And if every once in a while do like a 24-hour fast, your HGH levels are increased. Your healing starts to, like, you become like a superhuman while you do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It really is, and it kind of.
Well, Willie's actually been telling me a lot about fasting.
Yeah, and it's
he was
also
saying how like it's good to do that, even like just a day, like
Mm-hmm.
just don't eat anything, because it kind of like helps a lot of toxins or something.
Yes. Oh, for
like,
sure.
cleans you up.
Well,
So he's not lying.
man. Oh no, he's not. And I'm very into like my church and my faith, and some of the one of the biggest staples and things to be a good Orthodox Christian is fasting, because it's cleansing your body, but it also is for God. You're fasting in the sense of, you don't want to be consistently having everything available to you all the time, because then it just like dilutes your life. Like you're not, there's not that sense of like without bad there's no good kind of thing. And like appreciative, like we were talking about long distance relationships. You're fasting.
Yeah, we need to get into all that
Yeah.
too. No, for real, we have to talk about all that
Yeah,
too.
because like you're fasting kind of from her, but when you have it, it makes it that much better.
Yeah.
When you get it, when you're there.
Plants and Passion said completing a task releases dopamine.
Who said that?
I don't know her actual name, but it's just Plants and Passion.
Heck yeah.
And then Roy, he's in here.
Roy's in there?
Yeah.
Nice.
He said, crazy seeing how far you come from that first picture. I remember it like it was yesterday. Inspirational, my man.
Yeah.
You're living it.
You know what's crazy too about Roy Merriman is
Good night, Two Guns.
He's been is he still in there? I don't know.
I'm assuming that was pretty recent.
But he has been a very good influence to me in my life, and that's another testament of leading by example, because you don't know who's watching. And
See you, Steph. Good night.
Good night. You don't know who's watching.
Roy's watching. He just said, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Because you really don't know who's watching, and if you can inspire someone to take control of their life by you just taking control of yours, it's like, whoa. Like that, and he did that for me in so many ways. He won the Pittsburgh Pro, like 2017. Roy, was it 17? And this kid, like this guy he is a fun-loving dude who his motto is nothing to it but to do it. Okay. Isn't that just nothing to it but to do it? If you think too much about it, you kind of can talk yourself out of some shit, right? It's like, just do it. Nike, nothing to it. Yeah.
What's your Instagram? Steph wants to know. She might already be in bed.
Okay.
She was trying to get our attention. But
Fireheart JMH.
Fireheart JMH, and mine is that man named Gary. Fireheart JMH.
Joshua Mark Horner, my initials.
And Rees, I don't know if that's Rees, Reyes, Revenge. What's up? Sorry, I didn't read the comments yet. I feel like people are bummed out. And Officer Joe said 1, diet, 2, sleep, rest, and recovery, 3, physical training. Do you agree with that order?
What is it?
Number 1 is diet, 2 is sleep, rest, and recovery, and 3 is physical training.
Yeah, I mean, I put them all on platforms for myself. I don't like, they're all super important, and it also, like, it's your lifestyle too. Like it's how you are in your life, like what you're doing. Like, it's all interconnected. The hierarchy is. I think they're all super important. I don't know, dude.
Ready to go through some comments? real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah,
And then I want to get into some of
Yeah.
the relationship stuff.
yeah.
And then we can go a little bit longer, or we can just cut it off.
Cool.
And
We'll see how it feels.
if you guys want a part 2, let us know too.
Yeah, please.
And if you haven't liked this video yet, there's more people watching
Like
that have
it.
liked the video, so get on there and like it. Okay, I'm gonna read through some of the comments before everyone else goes to bed. Delph, he said, "What's up, dude? Long time no see. What's up, bro? I feel like the candle is going to melt the laptop. Maybe it's just the angle. It might. No, we're good. It's an Apple product. Steve Jobs knew what he was doing. R.I.P. OMG, please get on social media. I've been searching for Christ-centered weight loss content." There you go.
All right.
It's right there.
God presents people, places, and things into your life.
And it's Plants and Passions. Can you please tell me your real name? I don't know half you guys' real name, and I'd like to know. But that's the same person that said about the dopamine.
Yeah.
You can be in jail and never be arrested.
It's true.
Oh, that's true. Depression
It's
can
true.
mat your own home a lifelong prison sentence. Or make your own home. I think that might.
That's true.
So yeah, a state of mind most definitely. Sounds like an app I just started. But you started an app? What? Art of a Lobster.
Ooh.
Or no, Art of a Lost. Oh, he's saying the. Did you ever get out of nature and hike, like getting out there, enjoying the state of mind? Oh, he's still here. He didn't say goodnight. Tell us the books. Sheba, okay. Seeking you shall find. How you guys meet? We answered that. God tells us to keep seeking. Yes. Isn't that interesting about our subconscious mind? God tells us to guard our minds and hearts. So true. See, they teach me half the time.
Yeah.
When I do this stuff,
Dude.
They're in there like,
Yes. This is.
and they talk
such
to each other.
It's such a great medium for growth and love and interconnectivity. It's a special moment right here. Stay in it.
Yeah, for
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
I work at Applebee's. 13 years. It's a long story. Lots of stories, actually. I will not be at Applebee's for 13 years,
Yeah,
but...
me either. But we know the journey a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. Well, we're all right. Okay. Okay.
That one's about to fall out, too.
Oh no.
Are you good, though?
I'm good. Your Clifford broke my fall. All right, we're all right.
Until you just sit down. I'm telling you, dude, next time everything will be much better.
It's all good,
Much
dude. It's great.
Last couple comments here.
That's awesome. Oh.
What haven't we read? I used to work at consumerism church. Yeah, that's what most churches are. Consumerism. They want your money. They want old people in there, so old people will give them their money.
I will say, Christ the Savior Cathedral in Johnstown, it's a beautiful place, full of love,
So is
compassion.
Emmanuel Baptist. That's where I
Yeah,
go. They're pretty
yeah.
cool.
I mean, like you find the place that works.
I feel like I'm always talking down churches. I'm sorry, but I just have to say what's true.
You got to find the right
There are
one.
very few are actually like really, really good. Blah, blah, blah. These are people talking to each other. Jesus didn't teach religion. People came up with all these religions. True. Appreciate that, Katie. Yes, the prosperity is troubling because it's false. God didn't promise us an easy life. That's facts. Your life is not always going to get easier. You'll just know how to approach situations when they come. Been so alone for a while now. Don't even know what I can do anymore. Become friends with us. We just told you. We live in Johnstown too.
We should do a series, man.
We should.
Just do a series. Yeah.
Good news. God helps those who only help themselves. Is not in the Bible. Oh, okay. I was about to say. I thought you were saying God only helps those. I'm about to say you got telling some lies right there. No, yeah, you're right though. This too shall pass. The good and the bad just keep coming. We are all sinners. Joel is a sinner. Pastors are sinners. If you wait to find a perfect church, you will never find one. True. Dude, these people in here are smarter than me.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
gonna have
that's
to
great.
let them just do the podcast. Is this live? Yeah, it's live.
That'd
How's
be
everyone doing?
legit.
Awesome. Norma Jean. Norma's something. Yeah. I wish I could be as positive as you, Gary. I also sent you a message on Instagram. I'm not positive, I don't think. I just try to be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Life doesn't, I don't know. Positivity is actually, positivity is good.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
I'm doing well today. How are you? Yes, tell us about your weight loss. We did that. The devil is working against the health of this country. That's true too.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Joseph's diet is everything. You can't out exercise a horrible diet.
It's true. Shout out to you, Joe. He's doing some. He has a crazy weight loss journey too.
Oh, so you know who he is?
Yeah. He's a great dude. He's a police officer in Johnstown, doing some good work, or around the area, doing some good
Okay,
work.
Officer Joe makes sense then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is some. We need to get a podcast together with him. He is doing some great work too for like training jujitsu for police officers in the line of work.
I wanted to talk to a cop anyways. Like,
oh my gosh,
he just get all.
He would be great to come on, dude.
Because I want to talk to him about the behind the scenes of the police stuff too and stuff they have to
Yes.
deal with. Because I used to hate cops.
Yeah.
You know, I hated them, and now I love cops. Is there some bad ones? Yes, but the majority is like, dude, every single day they're waking up, putting their lives on the line.
Exactly.
And they had to go out and save the same people that hate them.
Yep. Exactly.
It's
Seriously,
like,
it's not.
Dude,
It's
I
like
hate cops, but as soon as something happens, they call that cop.
Exactly, man.
And it took me a
like,
long time to realize that.
Yeah, I've been there. I ran from many cops in my life. Heck, growing up was trying to get the cops called on you to run was one of the fun things we used to do in Wimber, man. These small towns, it's crazy.
You said you go to Christ the Savior Church?
Christ the Savior Cathedral in Johnstown.
So Elijah, they go there, I guess. Says, Gary, please come to the Christ the Savior Church, 9 a.m. on Sundays. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He
Austin Grosick, do you know that person?
Yes.
He's a Udaman Horner.
You the man, Austin.
Plants and Passion. Her name is Bree. What's up, Bree? I've been thinking about sharing my weight loss journey. Very Christ-led. Do it, please, please.
Do it.
See?
See, that's the thing, dude.
You're inspired.
Yeah, well, but
For real,
it's
though.
like you don't know who you could inspire. That's the thing.
Facts.
You don't know who's watching you and like, whoa, that person did it. I can do it too, and you can. You can totally do it too.
I'm going to be looking out for that.
Yeah.
So you better do it. Don't let me down.
Don't
I
let
didn't
you
mean to
down.
be at Applebee's. I didn't mean to be at Applebee's for 13 years. God kept pulling me back.
That's
That's interesting.
That happens. I tried to leave 4 times. God kept pulling me back.
Steph said she added us both on Instagram.
Cool. Thank you, Steph.
I don't see it at. I don't know who you're replying to, but Rees, is that how you say it? Reyes.
Reyes. Rees. That's what it sounds like.
Rees, yeah. But yeah, what's up? I thought you was gone by now, but you're not. Roy said you can't live in that negative way. Make way for the positive day. The great Bob Marley. Yeah. Austin, he deleted his comment.
What?
It says comment or message retracted. He deleted it. He didn't want it to be seen no more. He didn't want to know that people to know that he knows you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. If you guys have any other questions, comment them like real quick. I think we're about to talk for like a couple more minutes. Then we're gonna call it quits for that. We're gonna have part 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. And each time we do this, it's gonna look a little bit nicer because I'm gonna have it a little more together every single time. Like this just looks like we're in like
an awesome place to do a meeting. It looks great, man. It looks amazing.
Looks to me like we're in a bunker
I will say this, like, and I told you this earlier, the energy here is great. It's very comfortable. It's very promoting of positivity, and there's a lot of little things here that bring you back and pull you back to
I
center.
haven't seen it.
I know, but it's a good space, man. It's a good space.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's not yet.
It's,
But, you know, he's being positive over here. It's like, no, I'm just
God is in control.
He is. Okay, comments. Any last comments? Leave them down below. or comment them right now. I'll message you too, Gary. I still want to ain't something. Wait, what? I still want to ain't something for your set. You mean paint? Like draw a little picture?
Ah.
Great podcast. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you, Roy.
Thank you.
I don't know you, but if Josh does, I'll take his word for it. Okay, paint, yeah. Please paint something. Look at this. Empty space. All that empty space. Look, over there. Paint something, please. No. All right, but the last thing I want to talk about is like I think we covered like pasts, covered, the spiritual side of things, covered fitness for the most part. I think next time when we get a little more deeper into that.
Yeah, we can do that.
And like what I also want to start doing on these podcasts, I want to like develop like 3 challenges for people to do.
Yeah.
I haven't come up with them yet.
Yeah.
But like, so we get up from the table and like turn a camera into like the main part of the room and like do something.
Heck
Whether
yeah,
it's,
dude. That's great.
Lift push-up challenge, or it's like an eating contest, or like just something weird, something like eating a weird food, or just something.
Yes, yeah, 100.
I have to still come up with
100.
ideas for that, but so
Cool.
we ain't doing it today.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Jay
about
Dupree,
that?
hey Gary, I just looked up last night and caught you. I just hit the bell, so I'll get notified the next time you go live. Good to see you. Thank you. I
That's
appreciate
awesome.
that.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
heck yeah. Thank you. Autocorrect, yeah. Autocorrects. They're following each other in the comments. Okay.
Cool.
Last but not least, relationship. Love life. Let's talk about love life, Josh. Let's talk about long distance relationships. And actually, let's not talk too much about it, because I think we should sit down today.
Yeah, because it's
make
a whole
video about
yes
long distance relationships
Yeah.
and like how to deal with them, because I think a lot of people are actually dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes
I think
it's nice to know people like
that are in it too.
Yeah.
And I think some people shy away from them because it's the challenges that present themselves are challenges, but you can get through it, you can do it, and you can find ways to keep it fresh and new and alive. And because I'm in a long distance relationship. My girlfriend lives in New York. It's about 5.5 hours from here, but I can only take the train because I don't drive. It's like a 7-hour drive, and it's a challenge. But
You're good to keep going.
yeah, okay. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, and I find that being here and slaying some dragons in Johnstown, and my focus on doing these things, that when I get to see her, when I get to be with her, it makes it that much better, because this hero's journey that I am on, yeah, it's not just me. Am I all right? Oh no, it broke. R.I.P. Shout out to you, Alicia, if you are watching this. I know you're actually still at work. She is working till 12, but do we need?
I might have to run it behind you.
Is this dude? What about this?
You have a MacBook charger?
I have this. What does it take?
You just have to plug it into the wall. It's like
Can you plug it into this?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Try it, dude. I have my Stromboli in there.
You brought a stronger.
Yeah, man.
Alright. You mind if I like...
No!
That's not gonna work.
No?
No.
Do I need to move?
If it dies, it dies. It's on
If he
2%.
dies, he dies. Rocky 4.
Guys, I'm on 2%. If it dies and I don't read your comments and I can't see them, I'm sorry. But we got 2%. How are you dealing with long distance relationship?
I mean,
Because I'm in one.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with it good. I wish it
Yeah.
wasn't long distance, but it is.
yeah. I wish it wasn't long distance either. And we both have a lot of things going on in our life that the communication has been slow. I don't want to say slower, but not as much as I wish it could be. But
On what type of things? Just in general.
just in general, like we have kind of conflicting schedules today. She's at work 4 to 12, and she's at the hospital. She's a pharmacist, and she can't be on her phone, so can't do that. But some of the a nice little thing that we do that kind of keeps it. I think it's amazing. Is we write each other's letters, like we write each other like pen and paper letters.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
That dude, like I have them all in a box up in my in my office, and we Lisa, I'm telling all the secrets. She sprays her perfume.
Thanks, Swampik.
She sprays her perfume, and I spray my cologne on it, and it kind of just like.
But that's cool.
Yeah, dude, it is. When I come home and I see a letter from her, I'm like, oh, it's like so exciting, and it makes it fresh, and it makes it new, and it's cool. And like for the Christmas season right now, we're doing like this little gift exchange, randomly sending gifts, small little things, not telling when we're sending them, and hopes to keep spontaneity and things like that. And we are always open to planning days when we can reunite, and you look forward to those times when you can, because this year she just accepted the position and the job, so she's going to be focused there, and wherever my life takes me, she's in my mind, you know?
Yeah.
How about you?
What about it?
Well, you asked me how I'm doing with it, and I'm like, yeah, those are things I do.
I mean, I'm doing good with it. It's
Good.
I mean, there's times like we were talking about earlier. There's things like where you see other people out like going on cool dates and
Yeah.
doing fun things, and you're just like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
You gotta like text her, like, I wish you'd be here too, but all this stuff. But I feel like if you genuinely feel like that's the person you're meant to be with, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
Distance
matter.
doesn't matter. It makes it an obstacle, but to me, I literally feel like it's beneficial because it allows me to have time to still build my life.
Yes.
And like when I'm married one day, you don't like you marry when you're like just you're ready to take on that thing. Like, so it's distance is good because sometimes you can distract each other from your career paths and stuff like that, and then you're both like homeless under a bridge because you guys fell in love with each other.
Yeah, but you forgot about building the life in the castle and everything that you needed.
Yeah, so it's like the fact that like it's as much as it sucks, it's like I use all this time to build a foundation so when I can get married one day and have a family, it's there.
Exactly, man.
Don't know if I would do that if I had her by my side all the time right now.
Right, because it comes back down to like instant gratification. If it's there consistently, I mean, it's like with any relationship too, though. There has to be like the structure, the boundaries, and the understanding of where you two are together and growing together, but also you're taking care of your own individual lives. I think like Will Smith, he just came out with that post. It's like, I'm not responsible for your happiness and she's not responsible for mine.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you come together in happiness. And when you can do that, and especially being the distance, it's like I wish, yeah, there's some days when I come home from a long day. From like today, I've been out of my house since 7 a.m. And I would love to come home to her and you just like do the day and talk about it. But it makes it that much sweeter at the end goal. It's like instant gratification is cool, but it's not sustainable for maybe the connection and the longevity that you're after. Like if you're excuse me, tied to someone's soul, like if you feel them in your heart, then distance and time shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't know,
Any
man.
final words? Any?
Yeah, you know, I know we'll be back, but to any of those of you who are watching that you feel alone and you feel that life is a little bit scary and it's overwhelming, realize that good people exist, people care, and you're not alone. I know that phrase is said a lot, especially in the mental health, but it's true. Like even in this podcast, we relayed some things, or in this video we relayed some things that I'm sure you can attest and relate to. So it shows you that the people are out there, and if you want to shine your light, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the fact that you are not alone and people care. And keep pushing, keep staying in the moment, keep being a good person, keep waking up and seeking God. And you will find yourself, and you will find the strength. And you'll meet us back here. This is a pleasure, man. This was amazing.
It was. I mean, it got off a little rocky start, but
That's how
I knew once we started going, it would be smooth.
Exactly.
Part 2 next time.
Heck yeah. Can't wait.
Get your questions ready.
Yes. Yes. I like that. That's a cool part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, is that it?
I think that's it.
Part 1, guys. That didn't even hit the camera.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah, I didn't even say bye.
Oh. Wow, man.
Anything else you want to say to him?
The direction is progression. No words, just love. Stay in it. Be a good wolf.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Elijah said, good night to your last percent. Hope school gets canceled tomorrow. I ain't in school, but hope you are.
Hope your school gets canceled tomorrow.
I'll come to church with
McCourt.
Josh one of these Sundays and I'll meet you.
Yeah.
Better
Dude,
be there, though.
he'll be there. He's always there.
Steph, good night. Thank you. Amazing vlog. Hey, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Good night.